Hey guys, this is Dany Jones. Welcome to a new episode of MTTV. And today I'm here with Sis, Silence is Spoken, and the drummer Lorenzo. Or do we call you in any other way?
No, just call me the drummer. That'd be enough anyway. That'd be enough. No other names for me.
Welcome to our episode of MetalTalk TV. How are you?
Well, fine actually. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And yeah, well, I'm fine. Yes, great. Usual day in the drummer life. Being practicing most of the day. Usual Sunday, I would say anyway. And yeah. All cool. I had a very nice and rich Italian dinner, so that's fine. With a nice red wine in Tuscany, so that's fine. Can't really complain about it.
You guys in Tuscany are famous for, the famous Barolo, aren't you? So, aren't you full already after all the Christmas shenanigans and all the meals?
Unusually, I sort of like kept out the madness of like full tables of like food and relatives and everything. I was sort of like detached from everything for the time of Christmas. I was doing fasting actually around that time, yeah, for a while. I did have a nice Christmas Eve kind of meal anyway, but yeah, I didn't go over the top this time because I was like I was planning actually to have a very good beginning of the year because we had like few things to do with the band, and so I thought, my God, I'm just gonna go fat and forget about it. So I said, I'm gonna take it easy this time, and I did. I did take it. It was an easy between brackets kind of thing. I took it easy on the food, not on the wine, but never mind.
Oh well.
It's all rock and roll, but
exactly. I'm sure you shall be forgiven for that. So, Silence is Spoken. Tell us all about them. Who are Silence is Spoken? You guys are obviously in Italy.
Yeah. Well, let's make a short version story telling about who we are. The band is actually born in 2006 with its name. And it's sort of like it was born like between Italy and England, because I lived in England obviously for a very long time, and I started a collaboration with a guy called Darren Green, which was like the original member and singer, the original singer in the band, one of the founding members anyway, and we started in England. It was a very good project that started in England under another name, and their collaboration was like MTN, My Intuition. We had like several gigs, and we played a few gigs with the lights of like Skin Dread, 1 Minute Silence, all around like the good old times. And then we did have then eventually I moved back to Italy for various different reasons, and I sort of hooked up with Giacomo, which was originally the bassist in the band, and we used to play with another guitarist, and we had like it started the old project started then, and then from 2006, then 2007, actually end of 2006, beginning of 2007, Alessandro joined in. They took Giacomo's place on the bass. Giacomo moved to the guitar, and Darren was on the voice, and that's how he started the whole thing. And then he went like from the first album in 2007 until the second album in 2012. We take our time to record albums, as you can see, and then eventually loads of gigging all around the place, and then eventually we moved up again. Another lineup changing thing. So Giacomo left the band after the second album was released a couple of years afterwards, actually, and then which we call the Silence is Spoken. It's a black album anyway. We don't want to make any reference to the greatest Metallica, but anyway, it is a black cover album anyway. and that was, you know, that was the definite change anyway, because then another guitarist joined in, and eventually Darren left again. Left the band. The vocalist left the band, got replaced by Samuele Caviciottoli, which is the guy that actually sings with us now. Guitarists, we had like few lineup changing things, changes. So we had like, you know, a couple of very good, like technically ace players, like kind of thing. And one of them, you know, fast fret thing kind of thing. And then we moved to another guy, our last recruitment, which is like our last recruit. He was is Maurizio Dany, which is the guitarist now in the band. And then obviously, like in the month of October, November, we came out with the last album called 11, and then that is the last kind of I don't know, development of whatever we are as a band. And well, that's it. That's about it. Like gigging all over the place, all along this period of time, and we've been gigging all over the place: England, Germany, France, Spain, you name it. Even in Argentina, we went to gig and things like that. So we've been around. We've done bits and bobs with a lot of like different kind of like vibes and moments in life. But I mean, the main thing about Silence is Spoken is Silence is Spoken. We call it Silence Family anyway, because I mean, not all of the members, obviously, but most of the members anyway, that they've been, you know, in the band and then they're gone. They're still in the family business kind of thing, because we like to keep this kind of thing like in a very open kind of mind, kind of like, you know, project situation. We like to have like inputs from everyone, and everyone is actually, you know, putting their little effort on whatever comes out. And, you know, obviously the consequences is this last album, which is quite cool.
Wow, sounds I don't know if it's fair to say like the silence community.
Yes.
Yes. Sounds like obviously you've been moving around a lot. You've had a lot of lineup changes. I'm assuming life gets in the way and all sorts of reasons. But how do you cope with you know, the challenges that I'm sure every artist faces? And how do you feel that has affected you compared to where you are now as a band, obviously?
Well, the changes, I mean, obviously, like we're talking that, you know, what, 2 decades more or less. So obviously the changes on the style of music obviously are the main changes are you know, the approach on writing songs. I guess artistically we've always been like in the search of original kind of like composing, meaning what originality could be anything really. But I mean, what we used to love is it was like to surprise ourselves with whatever used to come out. So sitting down, trying to play a riff. This doesn't matter what lineup we're talking about. And it is you know, that's the main changes have been how we are actually writing and composing and building, you know, the new structure of what is going to be the album. I'll take, for example, like the 11 album. I mean, the the last album, it's been like there has been 1, 2, 3 different guitarists in this album in the process of writing this album, and that has affected the sound of it. But strangely enough, whoever joins the band gets this I don't know how you call it. I don't know. We call it, you know, the silent stench. You get this kind of like stench, like, yeah, like that kind of like, you know, you smell that kind of thing. So because everyone, it's a very Italian way, you know, like if we could say perfume if we're trying to be more French, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. I mean, everyone sort of like joins in, and automatically, no matter what kind of background they come from, sort of like adjust to what we wanted to get out of the song. The main thing is whatever has to come out of the song has to sound science. One of the biggest compliments that we're receiving normally around, and I take it as a compliment. I take it as a compliment because it is really. It's you don't sound like anybody else. Or I mean, you could tell influences, and I could name you loads of them anyway. But your sound is your sound, and that's what it is. So the changes throughout these years is just the way we approach the writing, but the final result is obviously always been the same. So that's it.
Excellent. So you guys got signed recently or fairly recently. Do you want to tell us the story about that process?
Yeah, we got signed recently with Warm All Death Records, and we have been we signed for like an album and videos, and like it's a very good signing actually, to be honest with you, because Carlo, the manager of the company, is really appreciates us in the way we are, and he's always like pushed us to be exactly who we are, like not giving us like any kind of like sort of like direction. Most of the time when you actually bump into signing or publishing deals or whatever kind of deals anyway, you have like the kind of like, you know, yes, but you should, but maybe you should try that. He's just like, guys, just be yourself. And we just send him, I mean, he got in touch with us. We just send him like the latest recording, pre-production for what he is, the pre-production for 11, and he's just like, he was just blown away, and he said like, you know, the stuff is great, and the collaboration is amazing, because I mean the guys have been doing a great and enormous job anyway in promotion, like, you know, like all the graphics, all the and especially the support, and for what we are and the way we are. And this is like, for me, freedom and whatever it is, like once you sign a contract is the essential part of developing something that is going to be fairly successful, fingers crossed. And that's what we have with them. I mean, Warm All Death Records are a record company for the musicians, and not using the musicians, which is like, you know, most of the companies are at the moment anyway. So I mean, or at least giving you that kind of like, you know, they're giving us that edge of being whatever we are. And so it's a very, very interesting collaboration. Fresh, because I'd say it's, as I said, got signed recently, but obviously we started like, you know, chatting a long time ago, but so far super good. So that's cool.
It must be very precious to have the total creative freedom, because obviously, as you rightly said, you know, it can be quite rare, actually, especially when labels start to put pressure on artists, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to monetize, right? I mean, it's, you know, unfortunately, the nature of the beast. Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations on that. So you have released 3 videos, and they appear to be a trilogy. What's the thought process behind that?
Right. Okay. The story about this album, like it was like the one before it, actually. So like Silence is Spoken, the second album anyway, but this one in particular, it's a concept album. We are huge fans of Pink Floyd, and we're talking about Pink Floyd in the Wall version now, obviously, and we are obviously, yes, sure, and that's you know, that's the main inspiration for what when we came up with the idea. And it's, you know, the whole concept thing is that's the main inspiration. Not so much musically, obviously, because obviously we are a touch heavier than Pink Floyd, but at the same time, I mean, the whole idea was to create an album, chapters, songs, chapters in a big book that is the album. And obviously 11. I mean, I'm not gonna get into what it's all about, because I'll let you know that the message is a very interesting message, but we rather let people come to the conclusions of whatever the message is once they're gonna get through the album and through the lyrics anyway. But yes, and inside, obviously, because we are maniacs of this kind of things, inside the actual the all sort of concept album, we have a trilogy video, which are the first three singles from the album, that in itself are the beginning story of the first and second chapter of the actual album, then concludes on the third one, but really does not conclude. So they sort of to be continued kind of thing. But it's a series of once again videos where we had total freedom over how we're going to do this kind of thing, and we had an enormous success in finding a very young director and a very young actress that did they are actually involved in these videos, which did a great job. And all the script was mainly done by Samuele, which is the singer, and it was a very interesting 4 days full on filming kind of thing. And they are and incredible success of the first video, which is for us is an incredible success. We had about, I think, 45,000 visualization in about a week or something, with not promotion whatsoever. It just came out and boom, man, everyone wow, that's amazing, because it was a combination of video, song, and the sound of it. And I think I'm just gonna go out on this. I think it's mainly because a lot of people not as young are gagging to actually hear music again, and the kind of music that we are doing is nothing like whatever is coming out now. This is not presumptuous kind of thing, but it's actually the fact that it's we're not looking for certain specific production sounds and things like that, but it was more a kind of raw kind of original kind of stuff anyway. Well, whoever's gonna hear it will make their own decision about it, but that is a fresh kind of thing, because no matter how wonderful the productions are at the moment, in general, they have some sort of standards kind of thing. So you have that kind of kick drum, that kind of snare, that kind of heads and plugins for the guitar, that kind of voice thing, and blah blah blah. And we're going out. I mean, we are completely out, and that is fresh, even if it's not really fresh, because we're coming from a very classic, grunge-ish, background kind of thing. So there you go. So.
Well, I mean, we all have influences that you know, it's inevitable, but it's the end product, isn't it? It's, ultimately it's your creation, which it's something really different. So there is so much in there. So basically it sounds like it's a trilogy of the trilogy, if you see what I mean. But then it's not really obvious. I mean, obviously I've seen the videos. The video is great, the song is great. I recommend, to our viewers, listeners, absolutely check them out. Silence is Spoken. What are the titles of the songs? Do you want to say them in order?
Yes, well, the video and the A Good God is the first video. A Good God, as we like to say, and more mainly pronounce A Good God in all over Europe. A Good God is the first one. Second one is War ABC, which is a song, very interesting sequence of letters developing all about war. I'll let you discover that. And the last one is called Game Over, but it isn't really a game over. But anyway, that's it. So that's the three titles anyway. So yeah,
it's there is so much in there in terms of, you obviously rightly said, it's a concept album and therefore songs, but obviously it's very dark. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of twists, there's a lot of suspense almost. It's almost like a, I don't know, you don't know how to approach it. Is it a horror movie? Is it, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And but there seems to be, and this is obviously only my personal interpretation, very subjective, of course, quite strong political connotations as well. How do you relate to that? Are you guys doing that intentionally in terms of like going against the tide, outside of the box, that kind of thing?
That's a very good question. And yes, we tend to have well, we have a tendency of like using music as a sort of like spread out whatever we think, and whatever we think we like to share it with people anyway. But the main thing is that even though we have a view about certain things, obviously as every human being, we like to have also a feedback from whatever our message is being spread. Meaning what? We like to develop a consciousness from, you know, and to see this consciousness coming from the people, the scene, after they actually discover what the message really is behind our well, the actual videos are a surprise till the end. To see whatever the feedback is, and if the message is being received. So yes, we are talking about in between politics, but really we're talking about human nature and how it's faced, how we're facing it. It's some sort of like, we give you a message, then you give me your answer so that I can see if you got my message. And from people and from the reaction, like thousands of people like writing to us, like on Facebook and Instagram and all that, and all the social medias and all that, we sort of like got the message that, you know, we got through to them with whatever we want to make, with whatever we want to, you know, express with our music. And that's such a success for us, because I mean, it is a message. I mean, I could compare it, nothing. I mean, you know, no, we're not worthy, but I mean, if you see the Matrix and you see the movie, there's a message behind the actual movie, obviously classic, that comes straight to the point. Well, that's how we work. You got to follow the white rabbits to see how deep the hole goes. That's our album. You get the album, put it on, listen to the music, listen to what we say, read, make up your mind, and if you decide to follow the rabbit, off you go. And that's how it goes. So
fantastic.
That's how we work.
Well, if people are intrigued at you know, at this stage, I don't know who is. I mean, so yeah, I would hope that after this conversation, you know, on here, you probably get quite a lot more followers. Just,
well,
you know, you made me curious for sure. So let's talk about the live. So you said you've done already several performances. Like, what have you done so far? What's the plan? You know, where are you going from here?
Okay, so well, for the live thing is excellent, because I mean, at the moment we're just like, you know, preparing for the big shows like that are going to come this summer. So we are planning to do quite a lot of festivals this summer, and we're planning to do a lot of preparation gigs. And not only that, but we have like we just had like on the 5th of January, so about 3 or 4 days back in time, we had a couple of people coming over and said, like, why don't you do a live sort of like a gig on the internet, which is like, you know, broadcasting live. Like, we old people, like, when we used to have crowds of it, we can't play to a camera. But then eventually somebody got us into it, and we did a gig like so broadcasting live on at the Relaxo studio, which is like the studio like nearby in Florence. And surprisingly, it was, you know, surprising. It was like, wow, was a great reaction, and it was a great experience anyway. So we got in touch with a lot of people far away, which is not easy now at the moment. So that was a thing that we're going to do it again, and probably we're going to do it periodically as part of like a project that we have in mind, like, you know, once again to like spread out the word. And then for the live thing, we have like these gigs coming in the summer. This is in Italy, in Europe as well. Hopefully we will be coming to England, I guess, by the end of 2023. We got in touch now recently about, you know, with a couple of like booking agencies, like, and we are working on who we're going to do it with. There's few names which I can't mention now, but I mean, we might do a family value kind of thing, which is like, you know, something that we wanted to do a long time. So that's it. So you know, hopefully we're going to have like a very full live kind of like fully loaded like 2023 kind of thing. But for now, the only thing that is planned is like this these gigs, these concerts, these festivals, and few gigs around Florence. We got the next gig in Florence we got is on the 18th of February at the Viper Club, and that's a good one. Supporting a very huge local band called Ancelotti, which is like a historical band where the singer is like the singer from Strana Officina, which is like a major like Italian band.
Oh gosh, remember them.
There you go. Compared, like we could call them like the Italian Black Sabbath kind of thing.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they are effectively. Yeah, effectively.
There you go. So I mean, that's an honor that we've been called to support them, and that's the next gig that we have in February, and Excellent. Then a lot of playing, a lot of writing, and that's it at the moment.
Fantastic. So, yeah. Excellent. Well, you know, that gives me hopefully an opportunity to, you know, fly across the pond and, you never know, take a sneak peek.
Welcome anytime, you know that.
Long overdue. You need some MetalTalk there, you know what I mean, to fly the flag high. How do you find I'm not too aware, obviously, being a musician, as you know, but I haven't really toured after Brexit. Have you guys encountered any issues in terms of like, and is that why you've been a bit more conservative in terms of touring the UK? I mean, we find that a lot of bands, even like obviously, especially big acts coming from the States, sometimes they tour Europe and then they skip UK altogether because the cost has become just too taxing. It's just not worth it, basically. So how do you find it?
Well, okay, the whole like the whole COVID situation has been I mean, it has been a it has been a major problem in Italy too. I mean, obviously, and everywhere else. I mean, in the case of England, the only reason why, I mean, we have been far from like planning and stuff like that, playing in England. Like we used to play in England before. I know you remember. And you know, we used to come to England like regularly, I mean, to play. And not so much about like, you know, the old COVID thing, but yes, all about the costs and all about the high rising prices of everything anyway. So we're trying to keep, that's another one. It's going to be another one of our policies about, you know, live gigs and things like that. We're going to go against the, you know, the flow again and try, you know, and try to keep it low in prices because we want people to come and see us. And we're not going to have any sort of like demands or anything like, you know, about vaccinations or like green passes or stuff like that. So obviously we wanted to keep on the freedom and respect for everyone, whatever kind of point of view it is yours. I mean, obviously, but we want the freedom to play for everybody at the decent prices that everybody could afford, and not the prices at the moment. I mean, we're talking about Europe has gone up, obviously England too as well, but after the COVID thing, it's just gone a little bit too much. And So we are trying, you know, we're working on that kind of thing as well, because it is a different kind of world for all of us. So that's how it goes. So we're discovering day by day whatever it is going to be like. You know?
Yeah,
So
it's indeed, it's very, very valid point. I mean, it's a very fluid situation at the moment, and we're all feeling the pinch, I'm sure. Right, I'm afraid we've run out of time, so we need to wrap up. I just want to thank you so much for being with us today, and obviously, any final words of wisdoms, or you know, I give you the opportunity to just promote the shit out of your band right now on MetalTalk. Go.
Well, I think we've done the most of it, but yes, I mean, I sort of stress everybody like to go and listen to whatever we do. I mean, we're out on every kind of platform. So as you can imagine, we also have like physical CDs as well. I mean, and we're planning to have probably vinyl as well, but that's another kind of story. Come and check us out everywhere. I mean, all social media. I mean, silencespoken.com, Silence is Spoken on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. I mean, you name it, you know. I mean, it's the same kind of deal everywhere. Come and check us out on YouTube and a lot of on our channel. You go like, you're obviously gonna have a lot of links to see these performances, like when in the sense of like, you know, the broadcasting and all the news are gonna be on our page, mainly Facebook, because that's where we have the majority of our fans, and the subscriptions are like they're quite loyal fans, so they are like checking every different moment of our progression, and that's it. Come and check us out live whenever you're gonna see the name Silence is Spoken. Come and check us live. Check us out, because you know, checking out us live means seeing the real Silence is Spoken. Whatever you heard now is great. The album is great. The production is amazing, but with a live thing. So come and see us live and be sweaty with us at the end of the, you know, the gig. We just say, you know, that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. So come and check us out live whenever we're gonna come to your town, near your town, and that's it. Enjoy life. Stay free, and always like question authority. That's the main thing.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for these final words. Once again, Lorenzo, and obviously I wish you all the best with the band. Fantastic success. I can't wait to hear more about it, and I want to see you splattered all over the world. But yeah, thank you so much for being with us today, and best of luck. Silence is Spoken, sis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.